along with Prasad, our new speakers for the day today, Manisha and Nanda. They come with great experience in the financial services domain. And as many of the students and professionals who are looking at financial services are all or already working in financial services, is one of the things that has become very important is to get professional qualifications beyond your MBA or beyond your undergraduate degrees. It could have been a commerce degree in bachelor's and master's. And the well-known professional qualification in the past has been CA within India. But what is catching on at a global level, what has become extremely important is CPA. And this is where you will realize a lot of you must have certainly heard about CPA, but to understand how to go about getting there uh, from people who have guided, like Mr. Prasad over the last 15, 20 years, have guided many professionals to path of international accounting, and also a much younger who have gone through this process will give you a real idea, because eventually a lot of what we have realized, both students who have just graduated and those who are in the initial phases of their career, they want to do it, but they just have too many questions. And hopefully this webinar will address those details. And I really always look forward for both advice and guidance from Mr. Prasad, who is just an amazing mentor. And I'm sure those people who are listening today will realize the wealth of experience that he has, and of course also listen from people who have been there and done that. So over to you. Looking forward for a very engaging session, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nitin sir, for your kind words. Always a pleasure to work with you and your teams here who are very enthusiastic and willing to learn and do new things. So it's our pleasure too. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So good morning, everyone. You got a little bit of background about myself, what I do and what I have been doing. So I'll spend a few more minutes to introduce myself to you. And then I'll also introduce my colleagues and my team members who are going to be walking through this session today. And then we'll take it forward. Before all that stuff, what is it that you are here for? You have any idea what we are going to talk about? You have any specific questions? You want us to cover anything in specific? So obviously we are going to cover what is CPA, why is CPA important, what are the requirements, how do we do it, all those things, the general things we are going to cover in next 1 hour or so. Other than that, if you have anything in specific, you can let us know now. We'll try to cover up as we talk, or please park your questions towards the end. We'll take all questions one shot and answer them too. Will that work? And more than we talking all the time, we can have a, why CPA? I'm going to say that for sure. Amit Sultani, I'm going to say that in a minute. Why CPA? Why CPA? How to do CPA, and what are the challenges or obstacles you might say and how to overcome. Those are going to be, discussed in detail and at length by Manisha, Nanda, and Priyanka, who did that very recently. So we will get more latest news from them. Mine is little stale information on that. So yeah, why CPA? Yes, I will answer that also, Sunidra. I can do that. You are eligible, ACCA is eligible for sure to appear for CPA exams. I think when we get into the credits, we'll cover all these answers for sure. Good questions. I'm just trying to bring you also along with me, with us. So we travel together and we'll have a lively conversations than we, downloading lots of information, making it boring on your end. That's not the intent. We'll have a conversation. Obviously, when we are in a flow, maybe we will please put it in chat window. One of us, Manisha or Nanda, will track those chat questions and they'll answer them towards the end. Okay. Thank you. Good morning and happy Saturday to start with. So my name is Prasad, as you see on the screen, and you heard from Nitin sir and Kiran sir already. I am in public accounting last 15+ years. And I'm a CPA, obviously. Okay, I can't wait. I am a CPA person. So you're saying CPA versus ACCA versus CA. I think I would say CPA. We'll talk. So I'm a CPA, licensed CPA with State Board of Arizona. I'm in public accounting domain doing auditing last 15 plus years. So let me tell you my story. Storytelling is nice for a Saturday morning. Let me start with my own story. Right after 9/11, I got a chance to go to US, guys. So I went to US. By then I had a bachelor's degree in accounting, which we call BCom. And then I was planning on doing MBA, and what are the other choices I have? I was planning on, to take my academics to next level and plan out a career for me. At that situation, all I know, like most of us, even today, is I know the only thing you do after BCom is either MCom or MBA. And MBA is hot, obviously. Then in the past, now today, everywhere MBA, people talk about MBA. So I was planning on doing MBA, and I was doing my background work. What are the prerequisites I need? How much it will cost? What are the best schools? What is the major I would like to take that will sync to my aspirations and all this stuff? I was doing the research. And then I had my own challenges. I had my own visa issues. I had my own immigration stuff going on. I can't mobilize from a city to city in the US, right after 9/11, how the economy was in 2007 and all that stuff, recession, all those things happening. And now information is key. I do not know that there is a wonderful qualification called CPA, which I can stay home, do a self-study, and be qualified and place myself in the global market. Such a small information, I don't know, because most of my friends then, even now, most of those people in the US are into software engineering or medicals. No, very few of them are into business side who are having, finance or accounting background, and nobody has information. In my nearest, closest, farthest circles, I don't know anybody who is looking to do MBA or CA equivalent or something like that. To my fortunate luck, or whatever I should say, I think I met one of my friends in a birthday party type of a thing. And then we were chatting, and then he said, why don't you do CPA? I said, what is CPA? I don't even know the word. This is in 2005. I said, what is CPA? And I was in New Mexico, Las Cruces, doing my master's in accounting at the time. This guy was in Houston, Texas. And then he was rushing, and then he gave me his address, and okay, we'll talk more in detail. Why don't you come over? So it was 400 miles. I took a Greyhound bus, which is like KSRTC equivalent bus those days. I took a bus. I traveled all the way to Houston one weekend because I'm having classes Monday to Friday. So obviously I took a bus, Greyhound. I went from wherever my college is to that guy's residence on Saturday morning or something. I came back Saturday night. I gathered information. This is a qualification that is wow. He's already doing it by then. He finished 2 or 3 sections by then. He's getting ready to be done soon. And I thought it is something very difficult and I can't do. I had my own, all sorts of typical doubts of a student. It's not for me and all those kind of things I had. But most of those questions were resolved, sorted then and there. So on the way back, again, I had to take a bus. I don't have money to take a flight also those days. So I took a bus and I came back all the way to my university town. And then I started doing more information, and I figured that what are the requirements I need. And then I finished my master's program in accounting, and then I pursued my CPA. And in 2007, I think I was done with my CPA, and I am registered with Arizona State Board. And information is key. Those days, information is not this widely available like how we have today. It is US and everything, but not many people, at least in my life, maybe others know, but in my life, I don't have anybody who can guide me and show me the path using this qualification, how wonderful things I can do in my life. I had no information, no clue. Thankfully, that person I met in a birthday party, and that changed. I took like a U-turn. I dropped my MBA plans. I did my CPA because it was relatively less expensive in my case at the time. And I don't have to go commute anywhere. I was married by then, and I had other family commitments also. So I don't have to travel to East Coast or Hong Kong or Singapore to stay away from family. So I can study from wherever I am. I don't have to commute for campus or college or anything at the time. Again, I'm all talking about myself, guys. Now things are all different. So keeping all those things, and this is a wow qualification, rather if I have to see with what I was matching those days, it's better than what I was thinking to do. A qualification which is going to open up so many doors, not just in one geography, but it is going to open up global opportunities. And with that thought, I got, and then, I have to do, I have to move from my student visa to employment visa. Imagine, had I done only MCOM or MBA, I don't think that would have supported me. But me being having a professional qualification, support the visa processing, I became a better category person, and I got my visa done through. I got my green card done through. All those things happened pretty quick, and I would say 90 to 95% of the credit goes to those 3 letters CPA, which was behind my name. I take, I respect that. I take too much pride in myself to calling myself as a CPA. It didn't come overnight. I had to put in my efforts and hard work and everything. But that's what made me, that was something that helped me to mold myself, groom myself into a different being altogether. And then I was into public accounting. I started as a fresher. I don't know what is what. I figured out audit, and then slowly I was able to pick up. And simultaneously, me having that qualification in the background is always a blessing. And I was able to move to places, cities, found new opportunities. The moment you go and say I'm a CPA, I think people know what it is. So they respect you, and 50% of your interview process is done there and there. Than me saying, hey, I'm an MBA or I'm come from so-and-so college, University of Texas, whatever it is, and then I have lots of experience and all that. You have to spend 5 more minutes to establish your credibility with whoever you're interacting. The moment you say doctor, how people realize and recognize and respect you, the same way, the moment you say you're a CPA, people know. In US, now it is becoming global. It's not becoming, it became global. There is US corporation everywhere in every corner of the world. And wherever there is US component, US reporting, you have to report in US GAAP reporting. That means you need a CPA in that small island or a small town or a small city across the globe. So I think you will have opportunities and all that stuff globally. So that's my story. And that's how I ended up being a CPA. And then I came back to India in 2014-ish, end of 2014 or 2015. Now, when I came back, I know the pain and struggle I went through. So whoever I meet, whether they ask me or do not ask me, I'll say, hey, dude, don't do this, all these traditional things, do this. You just put in yourself a little bit of money, and 1.5 years of time, you will become gold. And I was trying to spread this message voluntarily on my own, because I want to help somebody out who don't want to be suffering one more, the entire circle of me wasting 2 or 3 years there. So with that intent, I was, I started here at GT. I'm here with the firm last 7+ years. And I used to go to campus interviews. And then when I used to chit chat with BCom students, when we are doing campus hiring, I used to encourage them to do CPA. So I was getting in touch with several colleges in Bangalore and within Karnataka. And then I also got an opportunity to teach as a faculty in one of the colleges who are supporting CPA. And now it's going to be with ISMA also going forward. So the reason why I do this on my Saturday, Sundays is because I know the value of what I'm doing. And I also understand that when I'm a BCom student or MCOM student or MBA student, most of the times people are unaware of the beauty of this qualification. And also people underestimate themselves that I can't do this. I'm telling you, I am not smarter than all of you put together. Most of you are smarter than me. You're living in 2022. You know so many more things than what I know 10 years ago. So obviously, if I can do that, you always can easily do it. I will, with that note, I will go ahead and see the nitty-gritties of CPA and all that stuff. That's about me, guys. That's about my CPA journey. And I respect it. I value it. I'm sure I see 45 people or somebody in this conversation now. So most of you will be benefited if you listen to us and do the right things at the right time. So I have a few slides. Trust me, I'm not going to take much of your time. I'll make it quick. I have a few slides to cover why CPA, what is CPA, where will it place me, those kind of general things. And then we are going to hear some of the success stories from 3 of our superstars, Manisha, Priyanka, and Nanda, who are from GT. I've been working with them last 3 years, 5 years, 4 years, and several tenures, who recently finished their CPA exams, and they're going to share their wonderful stories. And I keep inspired. I get that inspiration all the time as I see them and talk to them, and the wonderful things they do simultaneously, maintaining work and family commitments and other things. So that is the agenda of the day. With that, Kiran sir, may I request you to please Okay, thank you. Becoming a CPA, that's me. I told about myself already. So we can go to the next one, please. So obviously, you need to have 150 credits. So there are two parts to CPA exam. There are 4 sections. I have to clear all these 4 exams, and then I have to get licensed. In order to get licensed, I should have 150 credits of education. And these are all driven by state boards, guys. So NASBA is the organization, the government organization that runs. Underneath all affiliated states will be working. There are 50 plus states in the US. Every state has its own requirements and regulations. So obviously, when we are from India, I will cut short and I will try to come to the states that are friendly to work with: Guam, Alaska, New Hampshire. These are the 3 states which are most suitable to our conditions. And while I say this, I'm cautious of the fact that things are changing constantly. Based on the information, whatever I know as of last week, these are the 3 states that are friendly to work with, wherein, the coursework that we go through, the content we go through is being recognized and given good number of credits. So typically Guam, I think Manisha and Nanda can add on to that. Guam, Alaska, and New Hampshire are the states that I had seen people from India going and register with. So the steps would be, I have to convert my transcripts, Indian transcripts to US transcripts. Every state, let's say, for example, I'm going with Guam. They work with so-and-so service provider. If I go with New Hampshire or Alaska, they work with a different service provider. So I have to first identify the state I'm going to work with. I'm going to work with Arizona, New Mexico, California, Guam, New Hampshire, New York, whatever it is, Florida, and then figure out who are the people doing transcript evaluation for Indian students. All I do is I take my original transcripts from the university, put them in a sealed envelope and send it to the service provider. The service provider will take 4 to 6 weeks, process them, convert them to US credits, and they'll come back and let us know the academics, whatever I have, is equivalent to 90 credits, 120 credits, 140 credits. And that is going to be shared with the state board directly, and also I will get a copy. Once that part is done, that is step number 1. I will get all that information from NASBA, and NASBA will take it to the respective state board site. I will figure out that information and I'll do all that stuff there. Once the transcript evaluation is done, I'll apply with state board. There is one small application form I have to submit. Hey, my name is this, I'm here, so and so, this is my credits. I'm interested in registering with your state to appear for CPA exams. And every state board meets on a monthly basis. Everybody has their own board meeting weeks. Second week, second Tuesday, third Friday, whatever, every state is different. So they meet, they put all the applications together and see who are all the eligible candidates across the world who can sit for CPA exam. And then you get one intimation called notice to schedule. And then you will pay the exam fee and you schedule the exam. And then you'll take it forward. That is as simple. First is transcript evaluation. Next is applying to the state board. Then get into the materials, study, appear for exam whenever you're ready. That's all it is. Okay. Kiran sir, can we advance to the next one, please? Okay, why? Somebody asked why CPA. As you see on the slide, I told you this little bit already. CPA is because it's US GAAP, US gas. And like I said, you have Microsoft, you have Amazon, you have Apple, or you have Grant Thornton. If their office is in somewhere in the US, I'm sure they spread across all the world. Even whether I have a small component or a big component, whatever is my segment of revenue to the parent, I have to report those financials in US GAAP. That means there is a requirement for me as a CPA wherever I go in the world. Not just typically what people think is with a CPA, I can do only tax and auditing. That's not the case. You have tons of opportunities. As you see on the slide, there are so many things that you can do with your CPA qualification. And now going forward, I think I'm going to tell you in a bit, we can do so many wonderful things in IT industry also with a CPA background. So you can, when we talk about blockchain or all the new technologies coming up, Bitcoin and all that stuff coming, if you are having this CPA qualification and you want to venture out into those areas, nothing like it. and you want to learn SAP and become an expert in that area, nothing like it, because you know the technical knowledge of accounting and auditing and that stuff, and you know how to use it in a different formats. Whatever suits you, you can do all those things. So think about it rationally. Like if you want to hire somebody, only a person with lots of technology knowledge who don't know the accounting knowledge, versus a person who knows accounting, auditing, and also technology, who is more suitable to that role. So that's when you will be well versed with a CPA qualification. You can become an internal auditor, forensic accountant. I did a little bit of forensic accounting also. You can become a CFO, controller, executive accountant. Anything, guys, you can do anything you can do with CPA, not only in the United States, but across the world.
Mr. Prasad, if I may request, just if you can spare a minute on forensic accounting. That's something I have received.
Okay, forensic accounting is, I worked on, I will make it quick. I'll get into, if I get into that, I'll take a lot of time. So I was working on a special deposit account kind of a thing. What happens is, it's like a detective thing, okay? Something happened 20 years ago. Okay, we don't know what happened. Those people, whoever is involved in the transaction, may exist on planet, may not exist on planet also. But you have to go back, chain it back the transaction to 20 years or 40 years back, and figure out what is the right thing and what happened, and we have to do the right thing. So it's not like current affair, that something like audit is current. Somebody closes the books on December 31. The client gives you the trial balance on January 10th, and the report is issued on February 24th or February 14th. It's within 45 days. It's current. Same thing. Let's say somebody distributed money in 1944. Okay. And the money has been distributed to Mr. John Smith. And now their stakeholders or their heirs or their subsequent people come and sue in the court of law saying, the money that you paid to John Smith is incorrect. Money of $50, whatever you give to John Smith, should be only $30. $20 should be given to, Laura Smith also, because she also has a stake in the property. That is the litigation that came up in the court. I'm just tweaking it, so I'm keeping the confidentiality of the client and all that stuff. And now what happens? The federal government, they are suing the federal government, guys, for trillions of dollars. And now what federal government has to do is they need a CPA to do this accounting. Now I don't know what is what, so they hired a CPA firm. It's my firm at the time, and then the firm's responsibility is to go back to 1944, get all the documentation, see who are the right people should be getting the money, match it with who got it, and settle the dispute.
Interesting. Thank you.
So, it's so expensive. If I have to put that, if you want to distribute $1, you have to spend $1. So something like that. And I gave money $45 to one person. Let's say, but ideally this $45 should be going to 6 different people. I have to divide that $45 by 6, do an Excel sheet, put one principal column, add interest column, and show the total, and then prove them that one Excel sheet should be backed up with evidence of this big of a file. Now people are going to ask me, right? How do you know 45 people are going to get, oh, see, this is the probate, this is the, the will, this is how they distributed the money, this is how it should have been. That is one thing. And then when you lease lands, right? So I am the landlord, okay? I have the land, but I'm not educated. I don't know how to do this land. And then Manisha comes into my life. I'm just saying Manisha because I see on your screen. And she'll say, give me your land, I'll do something, I'll give you some money. And then she'll do something to the land, and she will give some money to an intermediary person, which is again a third party, okay? This third party is there between me and Manisha. For example, when I'm dealing with the right of way, I have a land, you want to put a highway in my land. And now Manisha will say, I will do the land development and everything, and I will pay this money to the contractor. Contractor will pay me. So what Manisha will do is, she will do the right of easement and everything. She will pave the highway, and me and Manisha will agree into a price. For every mile, I should get $1 million or whatever it is. And then Manisha will be paying that money in this third party's account. This third party should take an administrative fee from that $1 million, $100 or whatever. Rest should be coming to me. Okay, what happened in 1940s and 50s? These people never deposited that money into my account. I also do not know. And for example's sake, I'm saying I died. And then I died 2 generations over, 3 generations over. Somebody sued saying, hey, dude, we should be getting money from last 25 years. Nothing is coming. Somebody sued. And then everything came back. And then they figured, guys, that the checks are sitting physically in the drawer. They didn't even go deposit in the bank account. Those kind of things also happened sometime in the past in some of the different parts of the country there. So again, our point is, who will do this accounting now? CPA. Bring on the CPA. This guy will go dig. And there is documentation available in so many places. You have to get the documentation. And then there are so many protocols and all that stuff. So you do the documentation, you come up with one box of evidence to prove that, you know, my client should be paid $1 million because of ABCD reasons. See the evidence and give them physically the paper documents. And then that has to be authorized by the government people or whoever is the authorizing signatory, and then disperse that money to the right people. So that accounting is also, that's when I said it is like a detective accounting. So that is forensic accounting. Something happened in the past, you go back and chain back to the current date and figure out what the right answer is and reconcile with what happened with the right and do the right things. That's about forensic accounting from my life. There are so many other things that people do these days. So, and there is another thing also, fraud examination will also be part of this, right? Cool.
Cool, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, shall I move to the next slide?
Please, let's move on to the next one. Any questions so far, team, from anybody?
There are a couple in the chat box, but we can address them.
We can keep them to the end. Okay, Manisha.
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said, guys, I'll go quick. We have interesting stuff. We have to listen from Manisha, Nanda, and Priyanka. So I don't want to be in between you and them. So what is it required? Educational qualification. Obviously, bachelor's degree and master's degree put together. We should be having the enough credits to appear for CPA exam. And then also you should be working in a public accounting firm. That's when, if you're working with GT, wonderful. If not, think about it. We can onboard you. So work with the licensed CPA, and you get your work experience kind of things taken care of, and you'll become a CPA. As simple as it. I think I talked about this in detail a while ago.
Yes.
Education plus experience. And some state boards have ethics exams. For example, I remember California and Arizona. I was with Arizona. Arizona needs ethics exam also. Ethics exam is nothing but a small take-home exam kind of a thing, which is required for that state. Ethics exam is not applicable for all the states. If you clear 4 exams, you're done. For most of the states. Okay. Thank you, sir. Can we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
The process, I think I explained this to you a while ago. Transcript evaluation, applying to the state board, getting an okay from the state board, pay the exam fee, rock and roll, study and take exams. That's it. And once I am licensed, I have to maintain 40 hours of education. That's what you see in the bottom of the slide, CPE, continuing professional education, which most of the public accounting firms offer within the firm. So we do education even today. Myself, Nanda, Priyanka, Manisha, we do education even today. I have to make sure I have 40 hours of CPE education, which is relevant to auditing, accounting, or to whatever topic that I'm working on. And I have to keep myself updated so I know what is current. So when I go advise back to the clients, when I do my client surveys, I'm doing the right things, not the outdated things. And that is being monitored by the firm, not just at GT. In all the public accounting firms, this is taken. This is being monitored by PCOB and AICPA. It's a compliance requirement. It is not optional. Every licensed CPA has to have CPE, which your firms will take care of. And that is required to submit the proof every time you renew your license. Every 2 years, we will be renewing our CPA license. and they track if you are staying current or not. Okay. Next one, please. Wonderful thing is 2 years pandemic, we are all, feeling bad about it. But one good thing that pandemic also did to all of us is having an exam center in Whitefield. Earlier, I took exams in US. Once upon a time, you have to take exams only in the US. 2015, 14, somewhere there, they opened up centers in Dubai and US. That's it, nowhere else. The Prometric Center is available for CPA exams only in Dubai and in US. So Manisha went, Priyanka went, Nanda went to Dubai and took their exams. But towards the end, like 2 years ago, they opened up a center in India, not just in India, in different parts of the world. Thankfully, India is one of those, and Bangalore is the city. 30 kilometers from here, wherever we are from our college, we can take an auto, go to Prometric Center and take an exam. It is that easy now. So that's a wonderful thing. Thanks to CPA, NASBA, whoever we have to thank, we should thank them for giving us that opportunity so we can take the test centers. We should continue to take more exams and keep it busy so that they will keep it forever. So the wonderful thing is they opened up in so many countries. Let's focus on India. India, we have centers in Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi, and Hyderabad, and few other cities also. But our focus is Bangalore. We have a test center in Bangalore. There is no international travel required, which will save lots of money. Take Uber Auto or Uber Cab and just go take the exam, you're done. You don't have to buy Emirates ticket and fly all the way to Dubai or US, which was the case not 100 years ago, guys. Just 3 years ago also, you have to go to Dubai. People used to spend money, and that is a different pain, but we don't have that, thankfully. Yeah, I think we can go to the next one. So, my focus is on India, like I said. You see those test centers. I just said 3 cities south, but you also have them in Mumbai, Gurgaon, Calcutta, Ahmedabad, and Trivandrum. So depending on wherever you are in India, you can go to those places, schedule. It's like buying a movie ticket, you go to PVR cinemas, book your seat, and when you want to go, Prometric Center operates the same way. Whenever you're ready, you see the slot available, just take it, click and go. It's not like traditional exams where you have to take it on 24th of March between 10 to 1. No, you can take exam whenever you're ready. I think most of the days testing is available now. I'll be cautious when I say that most of the days it is available. So just schedule the exam whenever you're ready. Cool. And this is one important slide, very, very important slide. One catch of CPA exam is 18 months. Okay. So there are 4 exams. In these 4 exams, let's say I cleared my exam 1 today. I took what are those 4 exams? Let me tell you what those are. FAR, Financial Accounting and Reporting, which is nothing but your accounting. 2, Auditing. Number 3 is Regulation, which is nothing but income tax of the US and business law of the US. Number 4 is Business Environment Concepts, which is a little bit of economics, statistics, sampling, IT, it's all interesting stuff put together in one section that is called BEC. All these 4 sections I have to clear, only then I'm eligible to get my license. Now, if I clear my exam on March, let's say March 22, count 18 months from today. Within 18 months from today, I have to clear the remaining 3 exams. If I do not clear the remaining 3 exams within 18 months from today, I am going to lose the credit for this test. I have to reappear for the exam again. So what I keep saying is you should play this game like a T20. You should hit it off then and there. Don't play it like a test match. Don't take it forever. Give it 1 year or 12 months. Get it then and there. Stay focused. Get it then and there. So you have 4 exams to clear. In each exam, I should score 75, which is my passing grade. Nobody will ask you how much you scored in CPA exam, by the way. All they ask you is, did you clear or not? That's it. Whether I get 76 or 86, it's good, but it doesn't make a big difference in a life like traditional academics or anything. Get 75 in each exam. You have four parts to clear, and you have to get that done in 18 months. And every exam will have testlets. and between the testlets, you can take exams. When you are in the prometric center, right? I'm sitting and taking exam on a computer. Between these testlets, I can take a break, go to the restroom and come, and all those, that flexibility is also there. That's all we are trying to tell you here. Can we move on, sir? And these are the resources. You can go to ASCPA website, NASBA website, or you can go to your college professors, or you can come to any office. We are here to help you, guide you in any way, in any time, in any way we can. You can come to me, Manisha, Nanda, Priyanka. You need any information, we can, in the future, whenever, if a bunch of you are ready, you need a information session on how to go about it, 10 of you or 5 of you are ready, we can quickly run through and answer your questions also on the operational side of what to do, how to do those kind of things. So tons of information is available at your fingertips or a call away. Just utilize the information you have and get it done sooner, guys. That's all I have to say. There is information available. Can we move on, sir? Questions, we'll keep it to the end, if you guys are okay. With that, I would like to hand it over the stage to Manisha, Nanda, and Priyanka, the 3 superstars who are going to share their success stories, how they did it. Mine is, like I said, mine is 10 years ago story. Now their story is now trending now. So let's hear from them how they did. I'm sure it's going to benefit us more and help us to plan and be successful in the CPA journey. And we'll keep the questions to the end and answer all the questions one shot.
Yes.
Thank you, Kiran, sir. Over to you, Manisha.
Thank you, Prasad. And no, it's not ancient. It keeps inspiring us every day. I know that's what got me through my CPA. But hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on a Saturday. I know I want to thank you for taking the time to be here. But if I have to share my story on how I cleared CPA, it's a funny one, because I think a couple of years ago, I was in the same place that you guys are now. I was just a student right out of BCom, and I had just joined GT at the time. I was an analyst. And I remember in the trainings, I remember Prasad introducing me to CPA, where we had a similar session. I was in orientation, very similar on the other end now, and which feels very good. But I was on the other end of this, and I was listening to Prasad talk about CPA for the first time. And I was very interested because I had heard about CA and the amount of time that it takes. But when I heard about CPA, the process seemed very interesting to me. And luckily for me, the senior I was working with was also working on CPA. So I got first-hand experience of what it feels like, to study and to see what CPA is. I took a couple of months, I think the first 4 or 5 months, where I wanted to figure out if auditing is something that I really want to do. And once that was done, I didn't waste any time. I was like, I need to get this done. I made a commitment, and I was like, okay, this is what I need to do. And I remember studying, having a lot of study sessions with my seniors, managers, Prasad especially. We would go to the office on weekends, study. And I think at that time, now CPA is a lot more well known, I would say, because there are a lot of people in the office, a lot of people in colleges that are doing it. So, which is great. So you have a lot of support now from your peers and everything. But I remember when I started, there were like 3 people in the office that were doing CPA. It wasn't very well known. And at that time, to get the support that I got was great. So it felt like a very big thing that, in the first year that I was starting CPA, because that was not the norm that time. It took you a couple of years to get there and then study CPA. But the fact that I was able to do it in the first year was a very huge thing at that time in itself. So it's a very good thing that these days, even while you're in college, you can start, right? If I had the opportunity, probably then I would have started a little earlier. But I'm glad I got it done when I did. And I remember it being very difficult because I probably didn't have the experience, but I remember taking a lot of my time. It took me an entire year to get this done. The way I divided this was I did 3 subjects, 1 subject at a time, 3 months for each subject. And I was like all for CPA. I gave up everything. I didn't touch anything else. I didn't even have a phone for a while, I remember. And all I did was study. And I think it was the commitment. Like I had promised myself that, this is the time that I'm giving myself. I know 18 months is what, what NASBA or what the US is saying that we can do. But I had given myself a year. I was like, I need to get this done. And I remember there being a lot of work as well. So it was not as if I was studying right from college or I was taking a break to study, right? I was working throughout. I was working 60, 70 hours a week and I was studying. So took a lot out of me, but the benefits that I have reaped from it post that have been great. I remember complaining to Prasad quite a few times, like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But he's like, have some patience. The minute you get done, the feeling that you have when you're a CPA is great. And I remember this. I remember the day that I got my license. And there's a website where you can go see if you're a licensed CPA or not, if you're an active CPA or not. And I remember to this day that I went and checked if I was, and the entire year worth it. Like I could give it another year probably, with the feeling that I got when I looked my name up and I was a licensed CPA, that was the greatest. And that has helped me in my career so much because first of all, studying CPA makes auditing like super easy, because now you're studying the same thing. You have extra knowledge. You're not just on the job training, but you also have knowledge that's coming in from the book. So you can utilize that here. So you feel a little extra smart. Going to put that out there. So that's there. And apart from that, I recently got promoted as a manager, and I got an early promotion. And that was because I was already done with my CPA, because within the first 2 years of my career, I got CPA out of the way, which is a necessary part to get promoted as manager. So when I got an early promotion, the reason that was done was because the one thing that I needed to get the promotion was there. And apart from that, all I needed to after that focus was on work, which became pretty easy because I was studying the same thing. So my point from all of this is, if I can do it with working 60, 70 hours a week, with family commitments, with, a lot of other things going on, there is nobody here that can't do it, right? All you need is commitment. All you need to do is promise yourself, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to get through. And no matter what route you take, no matter which way you want to go, whatever works for you, do that, but promise yourself that you will get it done and do it. I think the one thing that I've learned throughout, like learned from my CPA experience, or even work-wise, what I've learned is what you need to do is commit, and everything else will get figured out. The credits, I know I had to do MCOM. I was a BCom student, so I didn't have enough credits at the time. I wasn't a CA, I wasn't anything else. I was only a BCom student. And I was also doing MCOM simultaneously. I was doing an MCOM simultaneously while I was studying the CPA as well. So like I said, just commit, say, this is what I want. Decide for yourself that this is what you want. And once you have that decided, all you need to do is just go for it. Everything else will get figured out. The minute you sit for it, everything else will get figured out. And one more important thing that I would like to point out. I know I'm sounding very harsh when I'm saying you need to sit, you need to study, all of that. But what is more important is to give yourself, break, celebrate your little successes. Like every time I finished a chapter, I would go get an ice cream, because I'm like, I did it. Like I did one chapter, I finished one chapter. Or every time I finished one exam, right? I would go out. I would go out for a single night or for a single evening, but I would be like, okay, I've earned this. And the feeling that you got when you're going out after a couple of months, just because you've earned it, because you've cleared one subject, is amazing, right? So one, commit, and second, celebrate. Like, don't forget to give yourself the credit that you're due. Don't forget to tell yourself that you've earned to be where you are. So with that, I'm hoping that I have motivated you a little bit, and if you need more, please feel free to contact me and we can talk more. But with that, I would like to hand it over to Nanda to take over and give us his story.
Thank you so much, Manisha. Hello everyone. It's really an honor to join you all on this wonderful morning. Thanks for taking time out on a Saturday and learning about this wonderful course, which I got to say is it's really changed my life so far. So I will take my clock right back to 2016, where I was looking for a BCom and I wanted to do something unique out of the lot. And that is when I learned that Christ had come up with this course, which was integrating CPA and CFA, which was first of its kind back then. So I thought, okay, why not? Let's do a little bit more research and learn about this. And that's when I got to learn that, okay, CPA, it was still on the rise then. It's not like how well it is known right now. There was not as many institutes that were giving it. There was not as many different material suppliers that were there back then. It was very less known, if I'd say. It's a path that not a lot of people had taken. I was in that first batch and I was a little skeptical about how it's gonna go, but I think I'm glad that I took that step. So in my second year of my college helped me to get my credentials evaluated. I was the first one of whom the college got the credentials evaluated, because like how Prasad sir was explaining, that it's not, you don't get the entire amount of credits just for the BCom. You'd have to bridge up the course. Now you have these courses coming up, but before it was not that case. And similar to how Manisha did, I had to sign up an MCom as well. So I had applied through the Guam board, and I was found eligible to sit right in my second year. And right after I graduated from my college, I was the first one from my college to go appear for the CPA exams from Christ. And I went to Dubai and gave my exams. I'd say it was a little overwhelming at that time, because that was my first international trip in itself. And forget about the studies part, to handle that, the entire pressure of going all the way there and giving the exam, and just the excitement, it just wiped me off. And it was a very tough thing to go appear for the exam in the right state of mind, because you have all these other things happening around where you have to focus. But I think that at that point in time, I wasn't able to do that, which is why I think I took a backseat from what I wanted to do. I joined GT as an intern, and again, I think most of what I did I owe to Prasad sir, because right from college, back in office, he used to persist all of us. If you ask any of our colleagues, he keeps telling, okay, this is such a great thing, keep doing, keep pushing yourself. And that's when I think, again, I took a year's gap, and I thought, okay, why not, let's just take it up all over again. And yeah, I shouldn't, this shouldn't sound wrong, but I think one good thing that the pandemic at least did to me was it brought it to India, which made it a little more accessible, that you could go give it when you had to, whenever you were ready. Now, even though I give it, I think one word that stuck with me through the entire journey is persistence. I think at the end of this tale, you will know that persistence means you have someone who actually gave meaning to that word. I failed my first attempt in Dubai. So I came back in India, I took my FAR paper, and I failed again with a 74. So 2 shots down, I'm still thinking, should I do this? Why am I even doing this? I kill myself for a month and a half or even more than that, and I'm trying to clear the exam. And that's when, again, some voice in me is telling, just go for it, man. You've come so far. It's not like you have to take it forward. And that's when I decided, okay, let's give it once again. If not now, it's never. And I went again and I gave my paper. I cleared that account paper. And from then on, the only way seemed to be up. Like I decided that, okay, we got it. We just got to stick to it. And I got to be committed. Like how Manisha said, commitment is an important part of this journey. You keep committing yourself. So along with work and studying, I mean, different people work it out in different ways. But I think for me, what worked was, I was working on something that I actually study. It's like very practical. Whatever I learn, I can implement in my work and my job. And I also had the added advantage of my senior doing CPA along with me. So we used to vent out, we used to discuss, we could solve all our problems together, which I think it's a really good thing right now, because when you can share that, I wouldn't say pain, but when you share your resources, your knowledge, it's just gonna, when you're doing something together, it's gonna get better. You find the burden is a little lesser. So that's something that I really like doing it with my senior. So I think after that, again, I cleared my auditing paper, and it took a couple of attempts for my reg again. So I got 274s on this journey. So it took me a total of 7 shots for 4 papers. So which means 4 papers over 7 attempts, and I cleared it finally. And I think the point when I cleared it, I don't know, I was just out of words. I was so exhausted that, okay, this is the time when I should actually go out and celebrate, but I had no energy left. But once I cleared it, I realized that this journey was all worth it. And when I went back to college, I got to speak with my peers as well, and I got an opportunity to address my juniors, my batchmates. I think more than anything, the point of getting ahead, it's actually about getting started. So if you get started, you're already ahead in the race, and it's something that it's a very rewarding thing, right? It's not like you're doing something it doesn't have value. The stakes are only going to go up. That is one thing that I can guarantee you about it. And even when I look up LinkedIn right now, before when I right when after graduated my college, I was looking for jobs, right? And GT, I went back to GT, but back then CPA was not recognized for a manager role or a higher role. But now the qualification has become CA/CPA, which is such a big thing. In 3 years, you have something that's equivalent to CA. And I saw a question pop up that, is it difficult? I think it's not fair to compare it that way, because CA is over a long period of time. CPA is just compressed within four papers. So it's a different ball game altogether. I think if everything said and done, it requires the same amount of commitment and dedication to prepare. And if you can put yourself in that 1 year, if you are in the zone, I'm sure you'll be able to knock it out right off the park. And like a 2020, you just keep hitting all those. So that's what I think, that is something that persistence is one value that I want you to take away from my journey, because without that, I'm sure that I wouldn't be able to do it. And another part is obviously being true to yourself. Now, there were so many days when I would feel like, okay, I shouldn't study, I should go out with my friends, I should do something else. But I think ignoring all that outside noise and focusing on what you want to do, that is something that really helped me. So these are the takeaways for me. And yes, I'll be happy to take any questions after the end of the session.
Thanks, Nanda. I just want to circle back 1 minute. I know Priyanka is not here with us today due to technical issues, but I just want to circle back, and the point that Nanda brought up towards the end about, committing and about making sure that, you cut out all the outside noise, which speaks so much to Priyanka's journey, if I can say, is you need to be disciplined. I remember when she was doing her CPA, she was in the US. We were on a secondment and there was a lot going on. And I remember we were going out every other day. Like I was going out every other day. And there was a lot of noise, right? There was like, we were in the middle of the busy season. We were in a different country. We were going through a pandemic, for God's sake. And she cut out all of these noise so brilliantly, and she still completed her CPA, which speaks to the kind of discipline that you're expected or you're supposed to have for CPA, right? Like you've decided something, you have the discipline to follow through. And I think from Priyanka's journey, I have seen her grow. I mean, she's a peer. We joined GT together, so she's a very close friend of mine as well. And I have seen her journey. It's been a very similar journey from the time we started until date. And I have seen the growth that she has made by completing CPA, and the way it has changed all of us, actually, not just professionally, but personally. It's got so much more commitment, dedication, discipline in all of us that reflects in the work that we do today as well. So I think from the entire session, just between Nanda, me and Prasad talking, like discipline, commitment, persistence, like you have all these three things for a while, these will just get inbuilt in you then. Like you don't have to persevere to have these within you anymore. You give yourself a year, 18 months and dedicate yourself to it, and then it'll just become a lifestyle. So with that, I'd like to hand over to Prasad.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Prasad, can I take over?
Yeah, and if you have any questions that we need to answer,
I thought I will read out few questions so that any one of you can take the questions. From the
Nanda, Manisha, you can take a first shot at it.
Most of them are yes or no kind of questions. So let's see. Rakesh Kumar is asking, ACCA student, is he eligible for CPA along with BCom, or should he also do a master graduation?
I think they are getting some credits for ACCA also. I do not know yet. There is one person who is working on this. Once I know, I'll let you know. Because in that UK country, I think it is equivalent to master's program, so we should get credits for that.
Great. Okay. Okay. Vanita N is asking, after completing CA intermediate, when during the articleship, would you suggest us to take CPA?
Manisha, you want to go?
I think you can take it up anytime. I mean, that's my answer. Like, there's no bad time to start studying, and it's never too soon. So, if you're doing CA and you want to take up CPA, I would say, like, I don't know, more the merrier, because you're already studying the same thing on similar lines. So this will probably sit in your head better. And yeah, I would say it's never a bad time to pick up CPA.
But one thing I would suggest is figure out which one is your long-term baby, and then put
that
your efforts
also,
on it
yeah.
accordingly.
That also.
Great, thank you. And Shrikanta Vadnala, I guess that's not a question. I think I'll reach out to you, Mr. Shrikant, on that. What about, Rachna is asking, what about the international testing fees that is paid additionally apart from the exam fees?
I take that. So there is a component of international testing fee as well. So whenever you schedule an exam, you pay an application fee to get your NTS, and then you pay an international testing fee to schedule your exam. So that is definitely there. But that said and done, like I said, the cost of you traveling to an outside country and the accommodation and all of that, that's like I'd say it's a huge steal. It's a huge discount that we're getting, and it's all the more rewarding now that you're going to do it. So there's always a component of international testing fee.
Okay, excellent. One more question. In Maldives also exam can be taken if you're working. I guess that's been answered in Prasad's presentation. Yes, you can. And just two more questions. I am Rahul Soni is asking, I'm CMA India completed, CA finalist pending. Is US CPA hard as CA in terms of clearance for him? I guess he's asking for himself.
I didn't do CMA or CFA. I don't know, but CPA, you can do it. That much I can tell you.
Yes,
you can do it. See, one or two things is definitely hard. I won't say everything is piece of cake, but when I like doing it, when there is an intention, motivation is strong enough, I think I should be able to overcome that easily.
Okay. Okay, great. Are there any exemptions for CA qualified students to do CPA? No, there is no such.
Everybody has to take all four exams.
All four exams, yeah. And one question which is like popping up multiple times. So, which is better, ACCA or CPA? I know I expected this. In fact, I tried answering this question a lot of times. I think I would let you also give your comment. I mean, maybe the differences between them now, where it's applicable, then which is better?
I think it's a difficult question to answer, to be frank. I mean, if you ask me pizza or pasta, I like both. So, and I'm running a pizza shop, so I'll support pizza and say, hey, pizza is good, try it. So that kind of bias is already there. So I would say, to me, I think even I'll leave it to Manisha and Nanda to also share their opinions, but to me, CPA is good, personally, with all respects to everything out there. CPA is a global qualification, which is known throughout the world. Not that others are not or anything, but since we come up with that background, we can talk about that.
Yes.
I don't know what Manisha and Nanda thinks.
I think one thing that I'd say is it's similar to how you make a dish, right? You have dosa in Chennai, it's going to be different. You have dosa in Bangalore, it's different. So you maybe put it down to that an ACCA is going to be specific to UK. So it's bound with UK based, whereas CPA is specific to US, but it's more globally recognized. That is definitely there.
Okay.
And the way I would say is, let's say if my ultimate goal is to land in the US soil, on the US soil, then I will go CPA, because whatever other qualifications I have, once you have to act as a manager and above roles in the US, not in public accounting and in domain, they need a CPA qualification.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I think mostly we addressed most of the questions, and there are a few more questions which are coming in, but due to time constraint. I would definitely promise all those who are asking questions, or even if more questions are coming in, please do write an email to us. All of you have my email ID and WhatsApp, and I will ensure that I will reach out to the speakers and get to the answers within 1 or 2 days time. That is definitely doable. And with all of your permission, I'll just take 2-3 more minutes to explain to you what role ISME is playing in this whole exciting world. So ISME is a B school for most of you who are new to knowing ISME. We are a B school. We are running our PGDM program and BBA program. We have very good ranking, awards, and all that. We have recently come out, of course, with the mentorship and guidance from Mr. Prasad and a few others. We have come out with this, innovative programs. In fact, it's one of the first of its kind, and I can't think of any other college which is kind of offering this combination, where we are preparing the candidates for US CPA with all the 4 subjects, that too with the support of one of the excellent materials called Becker's. We will be providing you the Becker's material with that. We have launched it in 2 ways because there's also qualification requirement that you need to have a master graduation. So those who are looking for master graduation, they can look at a PGDM, which is a 2 years program. Along with that, one whole year you will be prepared purely for CPA. While if you've already done master graduation, the credit requirement is not required. You can just enroll into 1 year program, and just the 4 subjects of CPA will be taught to you. It will be taught to you from the CPA practicing faculties with the materials which is worldwide used, which is the Becker's material. So this is what is on the cards. You can visit the ISME website to get more details. Yeah, that's about it. All the classes, these are targeted towards working executives and also those who want to work along with study. So all the sessions or the classes are going to be held during the weekends in the online mode. So wherever you are, you can access. We will have students. We're open to students even from international destinations. So weekend online, you will attend for literally almost every weekend for the next 1 year if it's a 1 year program. And in addition to preparing you for the 4 CPA subjects, we are also going to be introducing some domain skill based programs which might be required for, like Mr. Prasad was talking about, forensic accounting. Probably we would like to probably conduct a workshop on forensic accounting, for instance. So these kind of contemporary topic workshops will be conducted to enhance your overall skill. And of course you have the customization of the schedule to match your work life also, because we understand, for example, Jan-Feb March quarter is extremely busy for the professionals. So we do not conduct any classes during that period of time, and we start the classes in April. So we have kind of thought over it. We have planned it, and that's basically what we have. And you will be having access to Becker's material, both printed material as well as the soft copy of it. Worldwide, the pass rate using Becker's material is around 94%. That's the official statistic. And you will have lots of skill-based exams, an AI-based platform which will tell you which area within the CPA courses that you have issues with, and it allows you to focus practice more on that part. And of course you have the hand-holding by the ISME and ISME faculty. That's basically what I had to communicate. More details in the website, and all of you have my contact details. In whichever way you would have got the message, please reach out to me. And we are starting a batch in the month of April. February 20th was the last date, but we have extended by another 2 weeks. So those who are interested, please reach out to us as soon as possible. And with that, I would like to hand it over to Rajendra sir, who is the head of corporate trainings with ISME, to provide vote of thanks.
Thank you, Kiran. So thank you so much, Mr. Prasad. I think the last couple of sessions we've had on this program have been largely technical, but you, Manisha, and Nanda have brought the human element of what this journey is all about. So I was very engaged, because I'm not a finance person, but then actually to learn the experience, because I think from the technical people, we had the director from Becker's also in one of the earlier sessions. They brought everything which was required, and it seemed a little intimidating, I think, for the participants in those sessions. So thank you so much. This was so wonderful to bring in the human element of your journeys. And I think on behalf of ISME, we are very grateful for the support and enthusiasm from you personally, Mr. Prasad, for encouraging us to take this journey. And I'm very certain, I think the students who have joined in today would have benefited tremendously. So thank you so much, Prasad sir, Manisha, and Nanda, and all the participants, and Kiran for moderating this wonderful session and bringing it to the participants.
Great,
Thank
sir.
you all.
Thank you for joining. Thank you all the participants for joining.
Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate this opportunity. It's nice talking to all of you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
guys.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.